Ladies and gents, in this video, I'm going to share with you a reaction from this video of this guy, which is going to talk about how you can create your own content machine. And this is just crazy. If you want to make more money on the internet and get more traffic, this video should be really interesting. I'm just going to react to the video and I'm going to share with you my thoughts as it goes on. So let's get into it and let's play the video full screen.
To 70,000 subscribers. And so things were going smoothly until one day I had a chat with Grant Cardone about branding. And it reminded me that all the lessons that I'd learned in business applied to all this organic stuff. I was on this call with him. He was like, bro, pull up your Instagram. I was like, okay. He's like, pull up my Instagram. He's like, I got 10 times the content as you. 10 times. He's like, bro, it's volume, bro. Volume. I was like, that's...
Yeah, at this point, I'm just going to make a pause right now because this point he just mentioned is one of the most important and most creative, most volumic, or that's the key for so many of you guys. If you want to get more traffic, most of the time you have to push more content to the internet. And I think the video is all about pushing more content and distributing the content almost everywhere on the internet. But this point is really key, guys. If you want to get more traffic, think about producing more content. Sometimes this is just as easy as it seems.
And so I built 2 expensive studios to launch this thing. I started making 3 videos a week. Side note, important lesson that I learned on a vacation. That really one did better than my really fancy one, which then taught me that what's inside the content matters more than the wrapper. So
this thing is so true. I remember spending so much money into my stuff, into my office, just to record more content. And at the end of the day, I had better videos with some really bad footage, bad audio, bad light quality and everything. And compared with some other videos where my content was much better, at the end of the day, that was better. And what you have to take from here, guys, and the golden nugget is, this is all about the content. The content matters. It matters most than the wrapper. And the wrapper is just how you're saying things and how you are just recording your videos and the angles and everything. This is not that important. What's really important is what you say in your videos and also the volume at what you say.
So for anybody who's like worried about getting started, about making it look right, I don't think it matters. I mean, I think it matters a little bit, but it's 80-20, so focus on the 80.
Yeah,
all right. So I continued my very steady growth.
My God. Look at that growth. It's just crazy.
But, you know, in the first 12 months, we went from 600 to 70,000 subscribers, which was cool. And so things were going smoothly until one day I had a chat with Grant Cardone about branding. And it reminded me that all the lessons that I'd learned in business applied to all this organic stuff. And so I was on this call with him,
totally
and I have
agree.
The full video on my YouTube channel if you want to check it out. He's like, I got 10 times the content as you. 10 times. Mm-hmm. He's like, bro, it's volume, bro. Volume. And so I was like, you know, I should probably do more, which is a lesson that I have learned over and over and over again in business, and I'll tell you a couple more stories about it later.
Yeah.
But like, so many times we're doing the right stuff. We're just doing way too little of it. Yeah, and so this is the content creation model.
Oh, interesting. He's sharing everything from here. Yeah, so that's basically what we are going to go through in this video, and we are going to pass all these steps: test, record, inject, contextualize, and distribute. So he starts. Yeah, that's interesting from this guy because he starts from Twitter, and then he starts to create content from Twitter into long form, short form, etc. If it gets any traction on Twitter, and that's interesting. Let's listen to it.
Fantastic. Let's start with the first one. So, test, record, inject, contextualize, distribute. So, the old way that I used to do content was I would just have this ongoing email thread to myself. I don't know if you guys have like notes or like a chain to yourself, because you probably get ideas, you're in a conversation, oh, I should make a piece of content on that, right? And then you email it to yourself, and that's how I did it for a long time. And the new way...
Okay, what he's saying here, because I'm not sure that's 100% clear for everyone, but basically when you're a content producer and when you are creating so much content every day, most of the time you'll have some ideas at the most improbable spaces or locations you could think of, which is you could be inside your bathroom or in your bed sleeping or even just walking outside. The thing is, every time you have an idea, you have to write it somewhere. And the old way is just by creating a note inside your phone or inside a notebook or somewhere, and basically write down all your ideas. And this is the old way he's just talking about.
Is the Twitter way, which is being blocked.
And the new way is the Twitter way. And the Twitter way is so smart.
By the thing because it formatted weird. But I post all of those ideas as tweets on Twitter rather than just sending them to myself. And so all of a sudden what used to be my inbox is actually just my tweet thread. All right. And so I tweet about 5 times a day-ish. And the nice thing is that Twitter is a very forgiving platform. So it's just like stream of consciousness, and it takes notes. You don't have to pick videos or captions. Or I like it because it's just thoughts. I love Twitter so much for that reason. And so I'll post this stuff, and I'll be like, okay, those are the ones that people thought were interesting.
Yeah, this is really smart. First of all, he's basically creating content. So this is a way to create content for the internet. If you've been looking for a way to create content, everybody's saying today you should create 10 pieces of content every single day. But you don't have to create 10 pieces of video content every day. Posting 5 times a day on Twitter means you are posting 5 content a day just on Twitter. And this is a really good idea. So if you just look at this, first of all, he's just writing down his ideas. So this is a really cool and great idea. And what's even more interesting, especially when you are going to get traction from your audience and the people just following you, the thing is, you will see some tweets, they'll get more traction, more interaction. And basically, you'll see that by just looking at the numbers, the reposts, the likes, the comments. It means that if you have a tweet on Twitter that gets a lot of traction, maybe you should create some content around this topic as a video form.
I'll post this stuff, and I'll be like, okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Those are the ones that people thought were interesting.
They are performing really
well. And
well.
then the threads become long format, and the shorts become short format.
Yeah, that's really smart.
Short format. Second step is recording, right? Why am I doing both?
Longs and shorts.
I realized this because you're like, why do you do short stuff? I was kind of against shorts, and then I realized that I've never actually consumed anything from Gary Vee that's long. But I like Gary Vee a lot. I was like, oh.
Yeah,
well,
why not? Yeah.
So that's why I do both. Right? And so I think it's a width and depth thing. I think the shorts give you a lot of breadth. I think the longs give you a lot of depth. Right?
Yeah, I'm going to make a pause on this one because this video is just gold, guys. I really think he's totally aware of his audience and how you can be impactful for your audience. Basically, when you are creating short form content for the internet, that's for TikTok, for YouTube Shorts, or even for Instagram Reels. The thing is, you don't have enough time to go so deep inside the content, so deep. You can just be really, really on top of the content and mention some small points, because most of the time shorts are about 15 seconds or 60 seconds at most. So this is really great to get some awareness. But if you want to be really, really and go really, really deep into the amount of content you are producing and delivering to someone, having long form content is the key. This is exactly what we are doing right now. We are going to go deep and share a lot of important, valuable things. And then because of these videos, you'll be more likely to subscribe to our channel. Do it now. And by the way, you'll be more likely to maybe work with us in the future or something. But the shorts are there just to get more awareness and also follow-up or a reminder. And the long-form content are really cool to get valuable, good quality traffic, and more importantly, go deep, deep, deep in the content and the relationship.
Breadth, I think the longs give you a lot of depth, right? And so there's a visual that I put together that took me too long to say that same thing.
Makes sense.
Great. So this is everything that I know about how to make content that, quote, goes viral. I watched a long interview with Mr. Beast. My big practice of trying to learn stuff is go to the person who's the best at it.
100% correct.
They've already reorganized the information for you. Hack. And so he's like, listen, all these guys make this all compliment with their tags and the hashtags. And if any of you guys sell that, this is not me offending you. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Remember, big grain of salt. But he said, it's just CTR times watch time. That's it. You got to get people to click. You got to get people to watch.
Okay. Right. Yeah. So this equation right now, this equation is just YouTube in a nutshell, which is if you're able to get someone to click on one of your videos from the search results, so basically from a page just like this, so let's say we are heading to YouTube and we are writing maybe warfare or something. If you get someone to click on one of your videos by clicking on this is the most important part. So what's important about this step is having a really good thumbnail. This is important, and having a really, really, really good title. And this is what you are going to work on. So this is the step number one, the first part of the equation, CTR, click-through rate. This is really important. And then the watch time. The watch time, by the way, I'm just going to talk about the watch time for a moment. But the watch time is how long the person is just watching your video. Is she or is he looking for that video or watching this video for 60 minutes or 10 minutes or 2 minutes? And the more, the better. So the longer the person watches your video, the better for you.
It's like, and that's what YouTube wants.
And by the way, for
be
YouTube,
interested in the content to get the click, and then make sure that the content fulfills the promise of the thumbnail. Cool. I was like, I can do that. And so this is the general format that I've used for the longs, which is like a hook or a question that I'm answering, usually a story that's relevant to answer the question, a framework that I've applied to repeat that process,
That's
and then
correct.
an explanation of why
that
it
is
works.
kind of things
That's
we
it.
are sharing.
And if I want to make longer stuff, it's just that process with multiple stories, repeating that over and over again. I put the tweet as the next thing I say because I already know it converts. And then I have an example and an explanation.
Okay.
That's about it. That's Alex's $1 million thing.
It's crazy. Sometimes it's just about being simple and being able to put into work just to produce enough volume, enough content. So just create.
Fantastic. And so this is an example. So it's like 28 ways to guarantee poverty, or 28 ways to stay poor. Right? So I made this thread, got a lot of shares, cool. 28 rules, reprogram my viewers.
So Twitter on the left side, then the tweet gets some traction. He produces a YouTube video.
22 minutes. So I have to change the headline and stuff, but the content was identical. I just did it in a video.
It's crazy.
Right? And then the short ones that do well, it's like, all right, overheard from a Navy SEAL, blah, blah, blah. Authenticity is just a fancy word. Boom. I just make a short version of the same thing.
Always the same thing. He posts a tweet, then he converts it into a video, either a short form or a long form, whatever.
Next one is Inject. So we grew the podcast actually recently from like 20,000 a month to 400,000 a month. And a big part of that was just having call to actions. Sounds really dumb, but I wasn't doing it. So do it. And so the way that we did it was we recorded 2 versions of each of the call to actions. So like call to actions to other channels, Leadmatics, share or tag. If you have a lower ticket product, I don't, but like, or if, for me, I guess I have a book, it's 99 cents. Leave a review if you want to ask for clients or, send a question, or there's my book there, Great Time Offer. So I would just record 2 different CTAs for that. Yeah. And then I just inject them into the content. So this is what it might look like. So it's like you have your CTA 1, content, mid-roll, content, end off. Okay,
this is really smart. So basically, he shot some videos before the main content. So he just produced some calls to actions, inviting the person to subscribe to an offer or buy a book or just come to an event or something that's evergreen, basically. And what's really cool about this strategy is that he can take all these small videos and inject them into some bigger versions and the big content, the main content. So right here, you see that he's got some videos. So you have the main content, that's the beginning of the video, the introduction and everything, and approximately at the mid part of the video, he injects a lead magnet short form video. So basically, this is a 5, 10, 15 seconds video inside the video. So this is pretty smart, actually, and I think that's a good idea just to produce more content effectively.
So we started doing that with the podcast, and it started to grow a lot. And now we're actually doing it in the rest of the forms of content. So you'll see that
and he's able just to swap the content and randomize the content. And by the way, the call to actions, which are going to make more sense because it's not going to be the same call to actions every single time in all the videos. There's a bit of variation and some different videos. Okay,
contextualize.
Yeah.
So anyone seen this one before?
This
Anyone
one's
see
great.
This like meme that went viral?
LinkedIn, Facebook,
So it's like
Instagram,
everybody kind of
and Tinder.
appears somewhat differently, even though it's the same person, depending on the setting that you're in. Right? On Facebook, you look a certain way.
It's
LinkedIn,
so
you look a
smart
certain
and
way,
so
Tinder,
true,
you look
guys.
a certain way.
This is also really simple. Most of the time when you are creating content for the platforms, you totally forget about the platforms you are posting to, and you're just posting on Tinder exactly the same way you are posting on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram. And obviously, this doesn't work. You have to be really contextualized, and you have to think about where are you posting your content to, and where is it, how is it working, and how is the person reacting and looking and watching, and where the person is watching your content at the moment they are watching your content. It has to be different.
So you have to make this stuff contextual. And so this is what we do. So this is the same video, right? It's that same,
do the same all
Navy
day.
SEAL video I made earlier, right? So that's
Great
a
idea.
reel, that's a TikTok,
By the way,
and then that's the YouTube.
even going to look at this is really smart, because on Reels, Instagram, he's using the titles inside the video. So this is literally inside the video, and there's no point in adding this from Instagram because it looks like Instagram, it's fine. But on TikTok, he uses the TikTok framework, and he uses the TikTok titles and titling, which is really smart because it makes it more native and more inside TikTok rather than just another content which is duplicated.
So it's the same thing. You just make it match the platform.
This is
same
really
way you
smart.
would make your Facebook look different than your Instagram, look different than your LinkedIn, etc.
Yeah.
As long as you just make it contextual, I think it does a lot better. Because have you guys seen people just like take literally the exact same thing and post it on the wrong platform?
And this is the issue.
I
just mentioned it. It's
just
the
not
biggest
that much
issue.
effort to make it contextual. All right, last one, distribute.
And distribute, yeah.
Then we distribute them. All right, so we went from 7 times a week to 80 times a week in distribution. That was the result over that 6-month period.
Yeah, he's going quickly on this, but it's obviously...
Awesome. And so we 10x the inputs, and we got 10x the outputs.
It's basic. If you 10x the input, you'll make 10x the output. And most of the time, this is the answer for so many of your questions and your needs, guys. You need to 10x the input. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I think this is the end. I'm just going to, the quick recap. So he starts with a tweet on his account with his thoughts, and then he records the videos on either long form or short form format. Then he uploads them. By the way, he injects some call to actions, some contextualization, if I could say it. And at the end, there's just the last bit, which is distribution. And that's not there, but it makes sense. Ladies and gents, this is the end of the video. So if you did enjoy the video, please do us a favor, click on the like button, smash it actually, and subscribe to the video because we are creating this content just for you. Reacting to videos is totally new for me. And if you liked it, post a comment below. Let me know about the video you want me to comment about and react about. And maybe we can create more videos like this ones. But by the way, if you want to grow your business, if you want to grow your channel, your Instagram, YouTube, your business, basically, subscribe to our channel and enjoy the free content. This was Kevin. I'll talk to you later. See you later. Bye-bye.